Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Sparza. We are doing a special broadcast right now. We just finished doing an episode of Verbal Tap, and we had a good episode. I think you guys will enjoy it. We basically did some funny and silly awards that we gave out for the end of the year. But for right now, we're actually going to talk about some of the notes I got for the year in terms of people who, and we very sincerely did ask people, send us in what you guys are looking to accomplish for this year in Jiu-Jitsu, and we had some notes. So what's up, Trish? Good to see you. And some of the people sent in some really cool things that they're working on for the year, and I thought I would share some of those things as potentially something that we end up doing now on a regular basis. So feel free to talk to us, add your own thoughts, beliefs, comments, concerns in the comments section. I will be able to bring up some of those as we are doing this. But yeah, this is going to be something that we might do on the Grappling Hour here and there just for funsies to break up the monotony. And plus, you know, I don't always get to talk to you guys, our Instagram audience, because we're normally doing about 12 or 15 other things for all of the different shows and components that we do. So we'd love it for you guys. I see this right here. It says, love your memes. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's super dope to see and hear. Love it. Thank you. So if you guys have questions, comments, concerns, hints, allegations, feel free to hit us up in the comment section over there. You know we love it. You know we appreciate it. And it says over here, I can go ahead and take some of your notes and thoughts as we are recording this. Other things that we're probably maybe going to try to do a little bit more on the show is maybe even utilize this to do singular interviews with people that are specific to our Instagram channel. We have a lot of friends that we don't always get to talk to via our YouTube page, or, you know, anytime we do the big show for Grappling Hour, it is difficult to always find an audience or the right time. So this is one of the few times that we're able to grab everybody, get them in real quick, and get them to share some of the things. So a couple of the ones that we got in the comment section was, I saw somebody that says they're going to work on defense when they're deep in the hole. So I think what they're trying to say on this one is they want to work on their ability to have a good defensive game in really bad spots. Deep in the hole is a very awkward expression, but James, I'll give you the fact that I think you're trying to work from bad spots, and I think I am good with that. I have actually trained with the gentleman who posted that one, an excellent grappler in his own right. And I think I would argue this. I would utilize your ability to get in some good wrestling and to make those bad spots into scrambles. I think that is usually something that I see that works really, really well. This is one that caught me off guard, and I know it may catch some of you off guard as well, but this note came from Keith Gregorian, who said that he's going to work on his Kimuras because he says he's literally never hit one in competition. I sent him a note that just said, that can't be right? Actually, now that I see it, it says, can't need right. Looks like I had a stroke when I wrote that one. This is one that's also near and dear to me. My good friend Gabe Calvento said he is going to work on his attendance. And I got to be honest with you, he should. He is somebody who is a very solid grappler, one of my very good friends and training partners. And I'll tell you this much, there are very few of you that I can see in person and go and yell at, but I can definitely go yell at Gabe. So I feel very confident about being able to help him improve his game. Again, right now we're talking about some of the things that people are working on for their jiu-jitsu goals, what they're looking to accomplish in the new year. Feel free to go and chime in, throw some of your comments, thoughts, concerns into the comment section. Would love to hear what you guys are looking to improve upon this year as well, because you guys are part of the show as well. I'm going to go ahead and go over to a couple of the ones that we posted. I think these came from yesterday, but we had a few people who chimed in and said a few of their thoughts, concerns, and hopes themselves. I had somebody who posted up one where they were talking about the fact that they had to perhaps roll a little bit more aggressively in their jiu-jitsu. And that one really, really it resonated with me, because they were essentially in their own way saying that they didn't feel super confident about the way that they rolled. And I was looking at that and I said, oh my God, you know, it is kind of similar to something that I experienced. And if it is something similar, cool to them. But to me, it read like, I remember years ago when I would roll with people, I'm a very defensive heavy grappler. So I try to make sure I never hurt my training partners, all that sort of stuff. And I remember very distinctively at one point, uh, somebody asking me about what it was that I was doing. They're like, well, you're very, very good at defensive grappling. How do you do that? How do you attribute that? And I said, I just try not to hurt people. And then I remembered thinking, what, I should really try to go a little bit more aggressive. And I remember distinctively giving myself permission to go more aggressively in my jiu-jitsu roles. And not to say that I would just immediately start trying to beat people up like that, but that if the occasion called for it, I could give myself that permission to go a little bit more aggressively. So as a result of that, it was something that I had to overcome mentally myself. And it was something that I remembered feeling good when I gave myself that permission. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to hurt anybody. I've pretty good control. So in that regard, I could definitely go to that. Yes, feel free to drop in your questions, such as this one that says, do you know how to play 2K? I actually do not. I'm so sorry. I wish I was cool and played video games still. I gave up video games in high school only to find that even though I thought at the time it was going to keep me from being responsible, and that I couldn't make a living playing video games, to now people play on Twitch and make a good career out of it. So, bro, I got you. No, I mean, I appreciate you. I just feel like maybe I made a bad choice. If I could go back and revisit that same Rafa Sparzo when I was a kid, and it says, I'm the GOAT, I'll put you on. I appreciate that, man. That's so cool. It says you can make a living. Oh, I believe it. But here's the dumb thing, and I'll level with you on this one. I want to make a living being a host at this stuff. So I need you to be the GOAT of being someone with that money. And it says, I fuck with this page. Tough gang. Oh, that's what's up. Love you. I fuck with anybody who fucks with us. I see this, No Fear Noah. It says, God willing, my teammates and I make a scene in the jiu-jitsu scene. Jordan Holy started off at Combat Jiu-Jitsu a couple weeks ago. Jordan is a phenomenal competitor. I think if you are working in his proximity, you have to be very deadly. I would say this. Jordan is one of the people who, when I trained with him, the one time I did, I should have given myself permission to go harder. Not to say it would have been better, but he has a particular style that does not blend well for me. He did great. He was crushing me. But I remember being like, dude, he's competing tomorrow. I don't want to hurt him. That motherfucker was great to roll with. So yeah, it's something I got to definitely go back and do. So if you talk to him, give him my best. He is a very, very nice person to us on this. And I've not seen him in a bit. So I hope that he is doing well. I hope that you're doing well. That's a very good goal to put on there. I see that, it's Carlos is here. Thank you so much. I see 2 Carloses here. I don't know. I'm supposed to be able to have 2 Carloses here. Do you guys have to fight now for that name? I don't know how that goes. Yeah, so we did put up a few other ones. One thing that I did notice, and this was right up my alley too, there was actually a couple folks who said that they were going to work on defensive heavy grappling. And I thought that was so weird. They said that they start off their year doing defensive heavy types of approaches to their grappling. I see this. There can only be one. Well, you guys obviously have to grapple off for it. That's exactly how it goes. So I'll read you some of the other ones. One of my friends put, what's the first thing you're going to improve in your BJJ game this year? And somebody put down everything. I mean, listen, everything is a good way to start. But it's not that far off from the rest of us. I think every one of us definitely has to get to a point where it may seem overwhelming, but just fucking start, you dorks. It's also very difficult to tell people that what they think in everything is going to be something that's going to be difficult to do. It's very hard to get over that mindset. So I get that. What is that mindset, Mike? And it says, this is one of the first 2 that I was referring to earlier. It said, every year starts with escapes for 2 months. That is some dedication. Like for them to carve out the time and the space to go for 2 months and go with escapes, that's a certain kind of commitment that I can appreciate in my own way. Another one says defense, submissions, and escaping pins primarily. So again, 2 people right off back to back were saying that's what they were going to work on. One of our friends, somebody who's going to be competing a lot this year that I know, it says they're going to work from wrestling up from the bottom. And so they were talking about how they're looking at doing something where they're going to be able to get back up and work from that bottom position and kind of scramble up and wrestle up from that sitting position, which if you are doing ADCC is going to be a critical and crucial skill to have. So I will remind you guys, we are only a couple months away from ADCC trials. I believe the system is starting tonight. So if you were looking to register for that, and that is a big goal for you, start working toward that immediately. Another one that we got up, it says, we're looking to improve my fucked up knee. But for real, kipping. It says, but for real, I'm kidding. I can't see this. No Fear Noah says, got to purchase that Nikki Ryan wrestle up on BJJ Fanatics. Oh, Jesus. No Fear Noah over here acting like we're sponsored by BJJ Fanatics. No. Obviously, that looks like a pretty good place to, I think, start for most people. I would also temper people to think about this. If you're looking at trying to emulate that, Nikki is going to be good. That whole B team, I think they're getting a lot of props from School of Grappling, if I'm not mistaken, and they have some excellent breakdowns. So if you're looking for the combination of how to improve your wrestling for jiu-jitsu specific settings, I believe it is School of Grappling. Go check them out. Lots of really good resources and thoughts from those folks over there. Somebody put on here, shrimping out of bed, to which I responded, that's really the first opponent of the day. If you really think about it. Listen, dude, I will tell you guys this. I don't really shrimp out of bed as much as I do like a pendulum. Like I'm at that old age where if I want to get up, I got to pendulum one leg like I'm trying to come up and take somebody's back. And is one of the few things that I can say that jiu-jitsu has inherently given me a skill to do. So anytime I get out of bed, I definitely go, ugh, and then pick one leg up to give me the momentum to get back up. Somebody put on here, it says attendance, just show up more. Look at this. Attendance, just show up more. I mean, I get notes like this all the time from friends, especially when they're saying like, yo, I just need to get out there. I'm going to tell you the story right now. And there's a gentleman who is in this, let me double check that he's in the room. Otherwise, I'm not going to say too many nice things about him. Yeah, there's a gentleman in this chat right now, in this video room, who is watching this broadcast, who showed up. He is one of the people who responded to this. He showed up that next day to an open mat that we were hosting. I was stoked to see him because obviously that's a goal that he set for himself. And I know that because we're a meme page, and even though, the Grappling Hour is a spinoff of this show, there's a little bit of a likelihood of knowing that we're doing jokes. But for this, we legitimately want people to get better, and we want to create a good conversation about it. And our friend, he showed up, and I remember he was huffing and puffing during a few of those rounds, but he had such sound jiu-jitsu for somebody who's on the early side of his jiu-jitsu career. And I thought it was so cool to get in some rounds with them, lend some of the knowledge that I knew, and have him roll with a bunch of my friends. And I could see it within him. He was enjoying his jiu-jitsu experience, and that made me very happy for him. He also put down here, I see a note from Chingo Mnisioso that says, looking sharp, Raf. Yeah. He is referring to the haircut that I have recently gotten. And for those of you wondering why I would get a haircut, it happens when you're married and your wife says the following. So when are you going to get a haircut? Which is wife code for get a fucking haircut. So that is usually, for those of you who aren't married, that is usually a big signal to go out there and fix yourself up. And I did. So feel good, look good, all that sort of stuff. What is up, persistent tenacity? We are just talking about what goals that we are setting for this year in terms of what we are looking to do with our jiu-jitsu. Would love to hear some goals if you have them. I'm going to go through and pull up the last few that I got sent. One of my friends said that they're going to be working on their omoplatas. I thought that was cool because I called that an underutilized tool. I don't really mess with omoplatas much, mostly because if I do hit an omoplata, I'm trying to hit that Daniel Bryan yes lock. And I will say, I feel like it's a great transition. One of the people who I thought had one of the best omoplatas that I have trained with and studied with was Gabe Argis. I remembered him showing me like the secrets behind his technique, and it was really just a lot of excellent drilling, expert sort of knowledge on those things to pass in and do your thing. So I was really pleased that he was able to show me how to do it. I had a pretty decent omoplata for a little bit, but I would agree. This was the one I talked about a little bit earlier, and I'll bring it back up for those of you who were just joining us, but somebody put taking steroids, and this is from a person who looks like they are questionably on steroids as well. So I just responded with more than you already do. So there's that. All right. Got a note here that says, do you support BLM? Yes. I don't know what that has to do with BJJ goal setting, but okay. Yeah. What is up according to Woods? Good to see you, brother. Hope everything is going well with you. I would say the exact quotation I got here was rolling with confidence / assertiveness. I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but I think that this is one of those things that we don't talk about a lot in jiu-jitsu. I think that a lot of people, like, you don't hear about this story as much as you do people who compete, or the narrative of people saying that, you know, they're working on techniques. This is more of a mindset. So that was actually really cool to hear somebody be very, very kind in offering this up to us. So yeah, rolling with the confidence and assertiveness is something that I think a lot more people struggle with than probably let on. And in that regard, I would say the thing that helped me, give yourself permission to be better. And I think that that tends to be something that makes a significant shift in mindset. It may not necessarily apply to this person or what they were thinking or doing, but you will be surprised what happens if you give yourself that permission to just start being a better practitioner. I think the permission happens, and then the ability to, that drive that you get that comes from that, it picks up a lot of things, and it makes you want to be better. So I would say, you know, I'm addicted to this. Let me see here. It says, yo, head, big, mad, son, no bullshit. Yeah, most broadcasters have really big heads. So that's the whole point. And it says, looking like Jimmy Neutron. I mean, here's the good news. The bigness of my head can actually spell. I like that you are phonetically putting out Jimmy Neutron as best you can. In fact, I'm going to screenshot that because that's good business for me. But thank you. Yes, I appreciate that. I've always had a big head. That's what happens. People get big heads. And I will tell you, it is very difficult to get a haircut when you have a big head. But I appreciate that. And complimenting, though. One, according to Woods, thank you so much for the hair comment. Definitely felt good getting a haircut. It's been a while. I'm going to go ahead and go over a couple more notes that we got here. I got a big head. Don't trip. Oh, I will. It says BJJ goal setting equals be more like Rafa Esparza. Oh, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Listen, dude, I am not exactly the ideal person for following a direction in terms of jiu-jitsu, but I have a little bit of insight. Been doing this now for what? I started in 2009, and really I feel like I've been training for about 8 years straight. So that's been really good. I see this one king I stand. It says where you get cut at. Where you get cut at, they fucking yo shit up continuously. Thank you. I appreciate that. Nah, you know what? They actually do a pretty good job. Go to the hood. Yo, actually, where I get it is not that far out from the hood. Don't listen to the negativity, bro. You look fucking amazing. Oh, thanks, yo. It's Carlos. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, so I think what some of you may not understand is if you've ever done comedy, you understand that there are going to be hecklers or folks who chime in on live chats like this. And it's just funny. You got to learn to take a joke. I laugh at it because I make fun of people too. I'm just looking at this guy too because I'm thinking if he's telling me he's got a big head, he's maybe just trying to explain his origin story and what he struggles with. Sideshow, look at this, fam. I got to tell you something. Your videos are very good. I very much appreciate what you're putting out there. I would love to hear what your goals are for this year. I think one of my goals is I got to train with you at some point. You know, a lot of my same crew or people who are friends with me. So at some point this year, we will definitely have to find a time to link up because I would love to do a collaborative video of you with you of some sort. So we'll figure out something funny to do. According to Wood says, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. Absolutely. I think Conan stole that from somebody else. So I'm not just going to let that be something that you say he got. But I love me some Conan. Yo, legit, Conan taught Bret Hart the sharpshooter, so that's my guy, man. And plus, he's got the Tequila Sunrise. He's King Conan. I remember when my mom used to drop me off at my grandma's. They'd have, because any good Hispanic family, they would have professional wrestling, but the Lucha Libre ones. And I remembered seeing him and be like, yo, this dude's a giant, but compared to like tiny Mexicans, ugh. What's up, Calvin? It says, I only know wrestling. Hey, dude, that's perfectly fine. Only knowing wrestling will get you very far in this world. So I wouldn't discount that. Wrestling is very important. Remember, kids, everything is wrestling. So you're not alone on that one. And plus, people need to be educated, man. They need to get up on this wrestling shit. I get so many people now who are geeking out at seeing a Brock Lesnar get back in the ring that they don't know what to do with themselves. And I'm like, I knew he was going to be there because I know what his deal looks like. So not surprised, motherfuckers. We got a couple more notes here on goal setting for the year. People who sent us in some of their thoughts and what they are trying to accomplish. I'll go ahead and read those on out. But if you guys have some in the chat section, tell me, because we are actually recording this one. So I may release this in the next day or so. So love to know what you guys are working on. So that way we can keep this conversation going with our friends. So that way people can actually contribute to this. Joey, what is up, sir? It says, Happy New Year, Raph. Thank you for your constant support of our community. Well, of course, man. You're good people. You always support me. You put up my stuff, I put up your stuff. That's how it goes, man. Also, giving love to our friends who are just joining in right now. 651 Elliot, I don't know you, but feel free to chime in with what your jiu-jitsu goals are for the year. We're just getting around, chatting about that. It says a reduced forehead surgery. Oh, no. You got you got a big forehead, dude? Like, are you okay? I mean, I have a giant head, so I can't really speak. Joey says, great brother Liz, train soon. Would love to train with you, dude. It has been far too long. I liked one of my friends putting this one up to me in response to what are you going to improve on your jiu-jitsu game this year? They put twister defense. And this is just somebody who I hit with a twister all the time. So, I feel bad. But I told him I'll keep him accountable. So there is that. And it says here from Sideshow 310, yes, I'm down for the collab. It will be fun. Yeah, if you guys aren't following Sideshow 310, man, very funny videos. Good dancing, dude. I'm a stickler for dancing. You do a good job. And it says, my goal for 2022 is to figure out Raf Guard and crush it. Now, hold on. This is not... No. Aim higher, okay? What's up, Purple Tail Monkey? I will tell you, there is one person I'm going to try and beat up in this chat section, and that is Purple Tail Monkey. That dude's actually really good at jiu-jitsu. We've only trained, I think, the ones in Vegas, but this dude's got a really good super fight that's coming up, and I know that he's trying to get people to donate. He's very good with animal shelters, and if you guys want to check out his page, it says Purple Tail Monkey. Go check him out. If you want to like contribute some money to, show a good cause, he is somebody to go check that out. Jimmy Neutron? Question mark? I don't know what that means. It's not really attached to anything. It says, I'm going to re-Wrathguard your Wrathguard. I feel like that is problematic for you, not for me. One of the things that happens when people try to emulate my game to me is that they get really bored. So I don't recommend it. You could actually do jiu-jitsu and crush me quite well. You probably won't, but other people could in theory. It says, and training, yes, it'll happen this year. I'd love to see it. Joey House says the hair. Yeah, I think so. I think they're trying to say that I got really weird hair. I think it's just a substitute for saying I have a large head. It says the Jimmy Neutron thing. I think he's referring to your hair. I do appreciate seeing so many people try to figure out what, I'm decoding it. Raph, our best scientists have put it together, and I think we've determined he's referring to your head with your hair. It's weird when I went to go get it fixed today. They get it a certain way, and I didn't really fix it. Normally I do a different fixing before I finish it off, but it's okay. Needs a little more shape into it. I like that it looks like two waves crashing against each other at this point. But yeah, I love it. I enjoy it. I'll tell you this much, it's way better than where it was a few days ago. And it says, you should get Wix. Thank you. And you say that you dig it as well, Joey House. Yes, that's very nice. I dig it too. My wife digs it. It's really all that matters. That's a beautiful part about when you get old. You literally look at the mirror and you go, sure. Okay. And then if you basically are polling in the 100% in the wife region, you don't really care what anybody else thinks. You're in a pretty good spot. So let me see here. Where was I talking about? Yeah, John. Purple Tail Monkey, go support him. I want to see him do well in his super fight so then he can come down and I can beat him up. I think that's the way I want it to go. I want him to win his super fight. I'm really trying to angle for this, if I'm saying one of my goals. I want more people to bring their medals when they are rolling with me that they have won, so that I can win their medals by beating them, having paid $0 for tournament fees. If I can make that happen a lot more, I feel like that's a good investment in my time. Because people would say, why wouldn't you just go compete? And I would say, why would I compete if they would bring their medals to me and I can beat them for that? Just cut the middleman. I think this is flawless logic. You guys can tell me differently. I also see, one of our friends, they showed back up at training. They sent us a follow-up note to let us know that, yes, they not only put down that they wanted to get better at jiu-jitsu, but then they actually went to go do it. Those are the people that we fuck with on this show. And just as a reminder, if you guys haven't checked out our newest episode of Grappling Hour, go check that out. We've got it with Pat Downey. It's a very interesting interview. Pat Downey was an interview that I didn't really expect to get, but we got it. And I actually think we got a different side out of him. And hearing the perspective of somebody who is kind of coming in to the jiu-jitsu side from the wrestling side en route to potentially going toward an MMA career, it's fascinating. I think that he is somebody who could utilize a lot of his wrestling skills if given the proper education and training. And I think that he is somebody that you definitely have to do this. 651 Elliot asks, Trump or Biden? So I want to figure out the part when maybe you see at the top of this where it says BJJ goal setting, that you're like, you know what? I've got some really pressing questions about who this guy likes. Does he like Trump or does he like Biden? Is that going to change your goal setting for your jiu-jitsu game? Wait, do you have a jiu-jitsu game? I don't think the answer is yes. Let's see. John Tavian Hudson, welcome to the show. Hit us up with your goals for jiu-jitsu this year. Would love to hear them. Would love to get your perspective on what you're trying to do. All right. Where was I? Yeah, I think one of the nicest things that we're finding right now is that as people start to put in their New Year's resolutions, we get people who make fun of those folks. That's fine. You know, it kind of comes with the territory. It's like amateur memers who say, you know, new year, new me, sort of memes. I think it's actually harder to make a good meme that makes a good point about it, because I think we all make fun of those people, but in jiu-jitsu, we all start off and we all suck when we start off. So I think it is very interesting. So part of the reason why I like doing this every year to check in on our audience and ask them what they're working on is like it puts a form of accountability. Like it makes people kind of think, what is it that I'm working on that I like? What is it that I don't like about my game? How do I make those things happen? In the past year or so, I think I started taking a lot of the stuff that I do defensively and I made that more into an offensive. And a lot of that came from making small goals bigger. So as a result of that, when we do little check-ins like this, it's kind of like, oh, you know what? I think that's what I'm going to end up looking to do within this next year. So I'm going to put something down as to what I'm working on. I think this year I'm going to try and make a better emphasis on attacking from the back. You know, I hit twisters and I get a little bit more ride time when I'm doing almost those EBI overtime than I used to, kind of rounds where I have somebody's back and I attack it from there. But I'd like to make this the year where I get a little bit more time that I can hold somebody in that position. Not quite to the extent that you need it like a party trick for EBI overtime rounds, but one where I think that if you can attack from the back, you have a very strong jiu-jitsu game. And it says here, if you support Trump, then I will work harder this year. Okay. If you support Sleepy Joe, you're fired, kid. Oh, you're using the language of the guy. I'm fin to be in the NBA in 4 years. I hope you know you talking to a future all-star. That's what he's trying to say. Okay, that's good. Good for you guys. I'm rooting for you both. I hope that you both accomplish what it is you're looking to do, maybe. It is amazing, the folks that you will get joining in on a broadcast at, what is this, 10:42? Anyway, all right. Well, let's say this. What is up, Federation? All right. Last couple notes here that I got from our friends who were putting in with stuff. I got one of my buddies that said to consistently train again. And this is a dude who I've seen compete, and he's really, really good. So I'm hoping that this dude shows up. And I did threaten him. I'd say I'd go fuck him up if I didn't see him back on the mats. Very good. I love Trump. This is from John Tavian Hudson, who says, I love Trump. Make America great. Misspelled again. Okay, good for you, man. Colin Field sent me a note that said he is working on getting back to training with us. Very excited for that as well. So I'm looking at this, and one of the things I've seen from people on their perspectives is that they're really looking to either just show back up, and that usually comes with New Year's of, all right, I'm looking to improve this. I'm looking to get back and make attendance a goal or get back into the thick of things. But I prefer having those specific goals. So for those people who put down omoplatas, Keith Kokorian who put down getting Kimura's back into his game, and, even the specific goals of trying to work from wrestling in seated guard or standing up from that seated guard, I think those are goals that tend to be, because of their specificity, a little bit better on how they pull it off. So that is why I have committed this year to trying to take the back a little bit more and work from there. And I'm hoping if I do that well, then in the next year, I can maybe be a little bit better at working from mount, because I think mount's really hard to do. So that's it. Them's my goals for the years. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, bringing in some of you some very interesting analysis, others of you weirdly unspecific and very poor political references. But I would tell you this: if you are looking to make a goal and you want to stay committed, tell your good friends over here at the Grappling Hour and at Verbal Tap Cast. We'll keep you accountable for this year. We're taking down notes. We're going to make sure that you guys get better at your game as well. Let's all get better together. I think it'll make it a much more enjoyable year. And it's always cool when you have people that you know who are supporting you and rooting, even if they are virtually doing it. It is nice to hear. So that's going to do it for us here. My appreciation and thanks for you guys. It's one of the first ones that we're doing. Hopefully we'll do more of these in the future, and we'll check in on you guys. We'll see what you're thinking, what you're feeling, all that sort of stuff. But for right now, my name is Rafa Sparza. It's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats.